Listen to me now and hear me later. This is my 1993 Saturn SL2. What I'm going to be doing to this car, I'm going to be doing the control arms, the outer tie rods, and the inner tie rods. They're very, very old and they've got to go. The steering is super sloppy. There's that part. Ah, there it is. Let's see if it stayed in one piece. Oh yes. Yes, it stayed in one piece. That's one. I was gonna take the cotter pin off of the outer tie rod, but I thought to myself, wait just a minute. I'm going to loosen the jam nut first. The jam nut on the inner tie rod to let loose the outer tie rod. The jam nut on this Saturn takes a number 22mm wrench, as you can see in my hand. And then back on the actual inner tie rod, this spot right here takes a 13mm. It did come loose, but because everything's so rusty, I'm not going to move it any more than it's already moved. It's very, very tight because it's really, really rusty. And because I'm removing the inner tie rod and the outer, I don't care. The castle nut on top of this here for the outer tie rod is 18mm. Here we go. Whoa. That was a little too easy. A little tappy from the top. And that would be a big no. I've got this cheap ball joint separator. And that's what you see right here, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this and it's going to squeeze this down. Down! Let's do it! One of my good friends told me the way to use this the right way is you tighten a little bit and then you smack it. Tappy, right? With the good old 5-pound sledge. So let's do it. I'm gonna get it on here nice and tight. Okay, no tappy required. The passenger side was even easier. I didn't have to make it quite as tight. I'm going to count the number of turns so I know how many turns to put the new outer tie rod back on. 1, 18 and a half. 18 and a half. Remember that, people. The amount of turns that you put on it are the amount of turns that you put back on. Okay? Next item up for bids. The boot off of the inner tie rod. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to take that off like that. Okay, next is the tricky part. On the back side of the boot, there's one of these guys right here. It's a clamp. So you have a clamp on the front and you have a clamp on the back. Okay, here goes. Now, I've broken several of my common screwdrivers doing this, so I'm sure there's some fancy special tool that you're supposed to use when you get these off. But I just use my common screwdrivers, and because of access and the way I have the light set up, this is the best I've got. I tell you, people on YouTube make these things look so easy, and I'll make them look hard. One thing I've heard is sometimes these boots can have a little bit of stuff inside them. A little bit of liquid stuff. And it's helpful to have a catch can or something underneath. And I have new boots for this, so if I tear it, I can use the new one. There! Yay! I got the thing off. Alright, now that the clamps are off, it's time to start trying to work the boots off. Okay, so what I've seen on YouTube, right, is pry it up just a little bit, the edge, the front edge, and try to smoosh or spray a little grease. Oh, that's messy. It just sprayed back on my face a little. Okay, that didn't work very good. Okay, alright, I'm gonna squish, get it in there. Get it in there now, get it underneath. Get in there, get in the hole. There we go, that's nice. Come on. Oh, now I'm getting on there. Okay, okay. Alright, now I feel better. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Well, that's one way. It's not exactly the way I wanted it to go. Come on. There we go. There we go. I watch it drip all over my shoes because I didn't put the catch can underneath. Because I got to get this all the way off. You can see what it took me to get this thing loose. To get it to move, I had to put some lithium grease. Let me see if I can show you what I used. Oh, okay, there. Do you see the white lithium grease? I use this stuff on a lot of things. So now I'm gonna take the boot off. I think I am anyway. Oh, there we go. Nice. There's the boot. When you have a boot like this, it must be changed. Okay? Okay. I learned something new today. Not a single one of the cars that I've done had this thing right here. Over the tie rod, the inner tie rod. You see that? It was covering the inner tie rod. The part where you put your adapters on for your tie rod removal tool. I couldn't see it. Alright, I found the right size adapter. I'm going to put it on. This is the right adapter. There it is. Okay. And this is my removal tool right here. I'm going to line it up and lock it in place. Let me make sure it doesn't slide off the back. They like to do that for me for some reason. Don't know why. Alright, now I'm gonna lock this thing in place. Lock the ring. Now I'm gonna remove the tie rod. This should take out the inner tie rod completely. Nice. There we go. Let me get this sleeve out of here. Here's the Loctite. We put the Loctite right on there. Alright, here we go. In we go. Get in there. Oh. There we go. I've got my adapter. I've got my torque wrench set to 33 foot-pounds. Going to stick it on there. There we go. Got the adapter sitting on there. Okay. Torque it. There, that's nice. That's the torque value. Okay, in the interest of protecting that ball joint and all the grease you see, all that shiny grease, I'm going to put the boot on. I got some of that grease on the end of the boot. And just so it slides on nice. Let's see if that goes on as much as I want it to. Not yet. That is not going on straight. Get it on. Did not go on straight. There it goes. Now she's on. I went ahead and put the little bitty clamps on the boot on. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the jam nut. I'll do this on both sides. just so I don't forget. It stinks to forget. And have to do it again later. Take stuff apart and do it right the first time. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put the outer tie rod on. I just looked at this thing. I don't know if I'm happy about it or not, but it has a plastic boot, not a rubber one. That spells bad juju for me. But yeah, I don't know about this. This is a Detroit axle set. All right, 118 and a half or 19. I could dial it back a little if I want to. Yeah, I don't know what I think about this. This plastic boot, but I mean, I know the rubber one's going to get smashed when I torque it. I just don't know. As you can see, right here, the sway bar goes right into the lower control arms. I'm going to take my sway bar off so I can get it out of the control arms. I'm gonna go ahead and take this nut out, which I've already taken off on the other side. Alright, that does that. Take this washer off, if I can. There it is. Yeah, there's the washer. You can see it, yeah, there it is. Next thing's next. Take down the brackets. They are held in by 15mm bolts. I'm gonna take off both sides. Okay. It took me a little bit of compression with a clamp to pull the bar to the subframe in order to get one side out. And I had one side already pulled down from the knuckle. And there I got it out. This one doesn't want to come out yet. There's the sway bar. Time to loosen the bolt for the driver's side control arm. So and the bolt head is a 15mm. So I'm going to put this on here, wiggle it just a little bit. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it gets on there. It's kind of hard to get off though. Let's see, let me put my wrench on the side. Oh, maybe. Well, first I'll try to get it loose. What I've got next is the cotter pin for the lower control arm castle nut. So I'm going to get started on that. Get this thing untwisted and straight. There we go. Cotter pin is out. It's out! Alright, the castle nut is 19mm. Alright, to help myself out, I went ahead and took out the bolt so I could get better access. And it turns out that I was trying to turn the castle nut the wrong way. There you have it. So I got it going the right way. And now we're gonna work on breaking free the ball joint. First, I'm going to tap it a couple times from both sides. Oh, look at that. I didn't even have to get out the ball joint separated. It just came out. Look at that. That doesn't happen every day. Hot dog. All right, so there is a wrong way to put these control arms in. There is a left side and there's a right side, aka passenger side and driver's side. Just have to make sure that these holes are angled the right direction to receive the sway bar. Also, the ball joint, the new ball joint is very, very, very stiff on here. So I had to adjust it a little bit so it would fit nicely inside. So it'd be at the right angle. So I could get it through to get it threaded. Yeah, that's nice. Sway bar brackets here. The torque value on these are 103 foot-pounds. To torque them now, do it. Almost got them. This side. When I get up here, make sure that it doesn't slide off. That's one. Two. Three. Four. That's all four. The torque value for the sway bar nut to the control arm is 106 foot-pounds. I got the right socket, the 24 millimeter. I'm going to torque this thing. There it is. The torque value for the castle nut is 55 foot-pounds. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't have any crow's feet. I'm going to approximate the 55 foot-pounds, and I'm going to put the cotter pin in. All right, here comes the cotter pin. I'm going to go from the other side, I think. Yeah, I like that. Next thing I'm going to torque is the control arm bolts. 74 foot-pounds for the nut and 92 foot-pounds for the bolt. Here we go. I think it's a little loose right now, but I'll do it anyway. Put the torque wrench on there. 15 millimeters for the bolt head. 18 millimeters for the nut. I've got the torque wrench set to 92. See, as you can see, I've not put on the tie rods yet to the knuckle because I wanted the room to get this taken care of. That's 92. I'm gonna call it good. So last things last. That would be to get the tie rods on there. That's right. Now, the other thing about this tie rod, I told you before that it has a plastic cap. The other thing is, it has a lock nut. I'm not used to this. Oh well. That's the thing I was talking about earlier, is the Detroit axle lock nut. Instead of what I'm used to, like the castle nut. Let's see if I can get this lined up without squashing my fingers. I just move this. There we go. Maybe a little too much. Maybe not enough. There we go. There, now she's on there. Okay. I'm gonna go check the torque value. Stand by. Hinge manual says 33 foot-pounds. I already did the other side, so I'm gonna do this side now. 33 foot-pounds. Doesn't seem like much. There it goes. It won't take long to get to 33 foot-pounds. There it is. Alright. No more rusty control arm and tie rods. One thing I forgot to do was to tighten the jam nut. So there's my 13mm and my 22mm that I'm going to tighten this with. Make sure she don't come off. Alright, that wraps up the in and out the tie rods and the control arms on my 1993 Saturn SL2. Have a nice day.